Welcome, guys. uh, I'm so excited to do this reading for you all. A few things before we dive in, because this is going to be a longer reading, as per usual here. Okay. So something that immediately caught me and caught my mind and just was brought to my attention is my mouse for my computer has like this mode where I can switch and toggle between the DPI, which is like how fast it moves. And it was on a different setting, and so I just quickly like clicked it, and yeah, we even have the devil at the bottom here. I mean, this is gonna be an in-depth reading. We're gonna be diving into like what is happening right now in your life, the future, past, all the things, all the parts and pieces. We're going deep in this reading. And toggling through that, Spirit just said, like, this collective has unlocked the ability to be adaptable to their circumstances, to the people, places, and things around them, and be able to switch into these different modes of operations. Like, without you having to be like, it's time to do this. Like, you are like flowing with life in such a beautiful way. Okay. So if you're feeling that and you're feeling the like, okay, this, and like I'm seeing like shifting gears, like being able to shift according to the terrain and the environment around you. And it's not in this way that is performative anymore. It is just like understanding the energy that is present. And instead of trying to control it, you are in this space where you are moving with it consciously without letting your energy be rocked by it. So it's like, I see you like shifting to a lower gear when the energy around you is a lot. And so you're not meeting it with like this big, like, I need to match it. You're just like, actually, I'm going to, shift down to a lower gear and just like let things ride out and not have to take control of it. Okay. So, welcome if you're new here. I'm Izzy. I go by 8th House Mercury here. My other account, I go by Astramia, where I do evolutionary astrology. That'll be linked where things are linked. I go live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to talk about the astro forecast. And if you can't make it, don't worry. I re upload it to YouTube. And additionally, my newsletter. You can read all about the astro forecast. It's totally free. It hits your inbox on Monday. Okay, so we're going to talk about like where are you right now? So we're going to be doing a specific spread for this reading. Where is the collective right now? We're just going to start with that. Okay. A bunch just fell. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a lot of cards for where you're at now, but we're going to take it. So the 10 of Wands was the card that remained, and the two that fell on the ground is the Princess of Cups and the Chariot. Okay. Mm. You're at this stage of completion, and there's just like, it's like right under the surface. Like I'm seeing this Princess of Cups and the Chariot as this underlying energy, as this like, that's what's beneath the surface is this like, I want to go. And I'm seeing 333 on the clock here. Like I'm ready to shift into this new energy. But the 10 of Wands is really, I'm actually going to dive into her interpretation in this book. For me, it feels like this last final like release and like letting go of the wheel that is happening here, because your intuition, yep, breaking through karmic blocks. Yeah. I'm like, it really feels like they're showing me a bookshelf, right? Where it's like they're showing me bookends, like holding this last series, like I'm seeing like a series of books and like your story, and it's like it's time to jump into like a whole different universe, whole different, like they're making me think of like Brandon Sanderson's like multiverse, the Marvel multi, like, and Sarah J Maas books, like they're all in the same pocket of universe, but it's time for you to like start an entirely new book series that is your life. Okay. The 10 of Wands is speaking to, yeah, there's a lot of overwhelm, but again, with this adaptability, reclaiming and balancing your life force and expanding it into a world of action. This shines light on the choices you've made that block your creative energy and life force, suppressing your true talents. It indicates a personality that wants to be in control of everything, or a workaholic whose goal never gets fully completed or complete. And like I said at the beginning here, like this sort of energy of like, I feel like you finally, like, I think I was speaking to this energy underneath the surface, the Princess of Cups and Chariot, where it's like you're being so adaptable to your circumstance. But right now, it could feel like this back and forth between like the need to control your reality and the need to surrender to what is, but also knowing your deep feminine intuitive abilities. Like, you know, things are about to change. And I'm seeing like horses, like in this Chariot card here. And these horses are just like, reared up. They're actually Pegasi, and like rearing up and like at the gates, ready to go. Like, I'm ready to like move forward, but there is some deeper things that are happening. So let's understand like what is crossing these cards. For those of you who are familiar with tarot spreads, we're doing a Celtic cross here. So crossing it, strength. It literally right now is a oh, it's such a beautiful gift and a beautiful blessing for you guys, because your strength is being tested right now. You are being tested in the most divine, beautiful way, though it feels like, I heard like, will I make it through? Will I make it through to the other side? And the Prince of Cups and Chariot underneath this tens of wands, 10 of wands is like, yes, like we know it. We already see the other side. We've gotten the intuitive hits. We've gotten the like downloads. Like, we know we've gotten the dreams. We've gotten the synchronicities. It's almost overwhelming how energetically and intuitively supported you feel at this time. It's just the balancing of the mind, and the mind trying to make logic and sense out of everything, and strength here crossing this energy. The challenge is like when to push and when to let go, right? This sort of infinity sign that is on here in the center of her chest, like when to, it really is showing you where you need to exert yourself and when to not. And so it's sort of this opportunity and this balance of like, go, stop. I'm hearing red light, green light, like red light, green light. Um and I just opened to the 6 of Pentacles, like, and it really is showing you like, where are you being met? Where are you actually truly being met? It just feels good to even settle into that. Like, that's what I'm feeling, is like the action of like, is this thing that is happening in my life, like whatever circumstances are rearing their heads in this letting go process, the karmic blocks, like, is this serving me? Do I need to act upon this? Or am I able to, like, is the strength in walking away? Walk out the door, just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I I feel actually with this strength card too, in the challenge here, is realizing that you are way more powerful than you thought. Ugh, and they just showed me this there's if anybody's ever read the book, what is it? It's by Glennon Doyle. Um it's like one of her books about her leaving her marriage and like falling in love with her wife kind of thing, and this whole thing where there's a caged lion, and like they have like a dog that it hangs out with, and like they raise it with the dog, and so that it thinks, and like the cage, like it only knows a certain, I can't remember the story exactly, but the dog showed it its like sort of limitations, and I feel as though you guys have been raised in circumstances that made you a lot smaller than you realize. And the movie Tangled has been coming up in my mind lately within the collective field of this sort of like being locked in a tower and like only getting to observe a certain small portion of reality that has been shown to you. And now it's like the deeper you've gone into your intuitive spaces, you have been able to see so much more, like so much more. So yeah, and it's sort of like your freedom is yours when you choose to actually like choose it. But the potential challenge is realizing you're a lot stronger than you actually have been raised to believe. And these circumstances are coming up to really show you that. And that's going to be one of the challenges. Is and also it is the potential, like literally you're like, "Oh shit. I'm far more capable than I was taught to believe," because yeah, I'm getting sort of like this has been coming up a lot, like Munchausen syndrome. Yeah, and the split to the sun. Like you were everything. You are everything. And it really is this opportunity to realize it and to act upon it. Okay. So moving into sort of this past energy. Whoa. Yeah. And then our future. Yeah. Okay. So, and your strengths, actually, past your strengths. We're going to we're going to pull the rest of these. This is strengths. Yeah, beautiful. And this is suggested approach. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, so in your past, we have the Seven of Wands. I feel like you've been in this energy for a good chunk of time where you're realizing I heard like something about like keeping your enemies closer kind of thing. And the Seven of Wands is really about you standing your ground and like your boundaries. And I feel as though in this time, especially like the last 6 months, it feels like your boundaries have been like tested and tested and tested and tested. Mm, and tested. Like, I keep splitting to the sun though. So like everything is okay. It's interesting. I should have maybe not pulled all the cards all at once because then now it's like I'm seeing all the energies but it's okay. It's okay cuz your Princess of Cups is already aware of this, that sort of deeper intuitive energy. Like you know about this energy. So this past energy is talking about like I heard like getting lashings for having boundaries, like verbal lashings kind of things where like people are like very upset with you and your choices and that you are no longer pleasing them. You are no longer catering to the needs of others in the way that you used to, right? You've become, I heard, self-sovereign, right? And that's where it's just like, I do want to name, I see how actually terribly hard this has been for you. It's been a test of willpower because you do care so deeply. You have a very beautiful, very tender heart that wants to give to the world, but you've been literally, I'm seeing like you've given the shirt off your back and now there's like nothing left. So I'm seeing literally you've been to the point of like peeling off your skin to give it to others. And now I'm thinking of that song that's been going viral at least on my FYP of I think her name's Foiza. What's the song? Um Foiza Unethical is the name of the song. Yeah. Um And I don't think it's necessarily romantic, but in the sense that like you've just given so much. And what's interesting is some people are like, you haven't given enough. People have some different fucked up standards of like, because of they give everything. So they assume that other people should be giving everything. And I feel like you've been slowly weaning yourself away from like these over giving tendencies. And you've been trying to do it like slowing the drip of your energy and like slowly like bringing the boundaries in instead of this sort of like hard boundary. The hard boundary is coming soon with this strength card coming out. Like the full stop, like no more is coming soon. As far as like your future energy, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Like this is what the Princess of Cups has been like very aware of. And I mean, look at this card. you've been deeply aware that you know that this I heard, like, you're getting your happily ever after sort of energy. Yeah, we have the 2 of Cups at the bottom, so confirmation. Like, yeah, I feel like I can just hold this up and you'll know. Like, that is the near future, but it really is this sort of edge of, like, made it through the wilderness. I made it through. Didn't know how lost I was until I found you. And I feel like that's you singing that to you. It's not about romantic dynamics. It's like you have found yourself by holding these really strong boundaries. And it's like within this circle, you've been able to like really find yourself. Find yourself. And you're like, oh, this is me. And so anytime that you like interact with people that have known the version of you that you masqueraded to them, they're like, who are you? And then you might revert back into that previous role. And that's where it's kind of like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. And so with the strengths that we have here, we have the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Swords. New form of communication and boldly and brightly being able to share your voice. A lot of you have actually found a new tone, a new texture in how you communicate, directly communicating where it's not cruel, but it's clear. A no is a no. A no is a no. Okay. And people that try to push against those no's, that's even a deeper no. That's a hell no, right? Ugh, I'm just so proud of you. Yeah, you've become so clear on how you wish to share yourself. And again, with this strength card, this back and forth, like it really is fortifying you. Like now I'm seeing like the way of like wielding this sort of sword here and like the creation process of it. And now it's making me think of Nesta from Throne of Glass. Not Throne of Glass. Fuck. She's not in Throne of Glass. Akatar. Um, and it's funny that I brought up like the sort of book universe because her story is kind of separate from it, but a part of it. And a little spoilers, I guess. Like forging a weapon, like not knowing how powerful you are, and then you've forged a weapon of truth that is so powerful in this process of like how you make the sword. And Spirit's now bringing me into like they're showing me like your spine as like this sword, like and they're like your chakras being aligned, like each part and piece of building yourself, of rebuilding yourself has been a deep dedicated process to finding your alignment. And it's been very lonely and it's been very intentional, but you have understood how important it is for you to do this. Maybe in the moment you didn't realize the amplitude and the impact that this self forgery was going to have. But now you have this sword and you're like, oh, this is a lot bigger than I realized. Like the intention of your voice, of crafting your voice, and the purpose of you using your voice, whether it was through singing, writing, poetry, like communicating to friends, going to therapy, like really actively activating the throat chakra. And it's like, oh, wow. And now it's time for you to actually use your words. And for some of you, it's like even in a bigger way, not necessarily with these boundaries of what I'm feeling here and like, but it's like there's a new way that your voice is being asked to be used. Okay. The Knight of Swords is really like you have the power and you have the this is the horse, right? In the Chariot card, like that horse is ready to go. That horse is ready to like it's like I got you. Like we're going for it. We're going to be and so this is the strength that you have of actively using your voice. Now, the suggested approach is very interesting because we have the 5 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups. And now the Five of Pentacles always speaks about this sort of like being left in the cold. But this book has a completely different perspective. Like your suggested approach, it says here, the keywords is finding the riches within. Okay, which is such a beautiful differentiation. Um, you're expecting these things to like not work out well, but this is really bringing in a time for soul searching. It's beckoning for you to reconnect to your spirit self by regaining your faith and strength, leading to transformation and spiritual growth, right? It's not this externalization of, oh, this is so fucking cool. Okay. If I'm picking up what Spirit's putting down here, I'm like, wait, I want to see the Six of Cups here. Yeah, keyword for Six of Cups in this book is remembrance. Um, as the book falls, the Spirit's like, you're done using that. Trust your intuition. Even that's so telling for this collective. And I just split to the Ton of Cups in my lap too. And the sun's peeking out there, right? So again, it's like right actually behind the Ten of Cups. So even intuitively, I was picking up this sort of like, I'm thinking of the song Wonderland by Calandra. Like, you are doing things in such a different way than most people would approach these sort of changes and juncture points, because you're going within and you're finding and remembering moments in your life and other lives that have magic, and you're doing some deep emotional, like, witnessing of the good. And it's this weird, okay, they're having you do a lot of, okay, it's like soul recalling. Like, you're going back to moments in your life where you felt at losses and actually finding the gem of truth underneath of the actual, like, emotional success and emotional warmth in those circumstances. But I'm like this like rainbow unicorn that's flying up there. It's like, and if there wasn't moments of good at those past times, you are bringing good into those moments, which then it's so wild. You're literally doing complete like reprogramming of your entire life. So moments when things were hard and oh, that's interesting. They just brought me back to a memory of mine, so I'm going to share it with you. When I was entering womanhood, when I was having my first bleed, um going back to that girl, because I was with like all of my male cousins and my dad and no females around me, and being the comfort there, being that. And now I was like in the desert. And so now I like, they're really, even I'm actively doing it with you guys here. They wanted me to give you a tangible application of how you're doing this, of your suggested approach to this strength. And like moving into this 10 of Pentacles, it's by actually rewiring your past. So even now, as I'm sitting with this version of me, I see the earth holding her, and the desert, and the red rock. And I see my version of myself now there with her now. And for those of you who are even observing this message, I feel you guys with her too. And how held she is in the unknowing, not knowing what's happening with her body, that she will get to this moment where I'm at now. I'm bringing the light and the love and the magic of my life now to her, so she can continue to follow the path that leads us here now. That, that is the magic. That is the magic. That is genuinely and like, I feel it in my body. My whole back was lit up. Like, I felt support. I feel emotionally clearer and way more tender and loved. That is your suggested approach, where it's not, it's like, it's such a different approach than most people would navigate into. Okay. Okay. Whoa. Anything else with this, Spirit? They want me to get one more card. The Fool and the Four of Wands. As you move forward into this 10 of Pentacles, as you move forward into your life, right? And they are showing again, they keep bringing me back to this Strength card crossing this sort of moment in your life right now. And it's like, this is fortification. Like, you're doing this. You're a lot of emotional terrain is coming up for you to sit and actually reprogram the things and sit and be with them and witness them and see the pattern. Because we have the Fool and the Four of Wands. It's like, oh, and my ear just went out. Like, this happily ever after. It's almost like, how do you believe in miracles? With this energy, it's like, and they had me kind of connect, like the Four of Wands and the Fool is like this pathway to the 10 of Pentacles as you're doing this process of inner alchemy and like changing. I heard like, if you could change your fate, would you? Kind of vibe. Where yeah, they're just emphasizing the word fate. Like, this was always fated for it to be this way. And it's sort of this balance. And now they're showing me the Two of Pentacles in my mind's eye, this balance between like destiny and fate and will, right? They are interwoven and they're showing me them like braided together, almost like a helix, right? This sort of spiral. And to move into this 10 of Pentacles, it's really understanding that you get to create the life that you desire by becoming the person that actually can meet it and enter into this new chapter by building your fire and cultivating your life path. And I'm seeing, it's funny, the Four of Wands are almost like light posts leading you where you desire to go, where it's like, actually hold to the vision, hold to your desire, right? People say the Four of Wands is like this marriage card, this celebration cards. And in the traditional Rider Waite, it's actually this community that's like setting up their pillars and like you're finding a new place to be, a new place to land. Okay. Now let's dive into, oh, interesting. I kind of like laid out the cards in a different way. Well, we're just going to trust that that's how it was meant to be navigated. Okay, very interesting. And so, what you need to know, the Nine of Wands. Yeah. Yeah. I see this as that back and forth between the 10 of Wands and 9 of Wands. It's this back and forth of like, this is the last fence post to be put down with your boundary. There is one last thing that you need to do to really, whoa. They just showed me like, I'm sure this has been in many movies and they're showing me like a bunch of different clips, but like the Gandalf, like, don't, like, you cannot pass, like putting the staff down and it's like, wow. Like, I don't think, I don't feel you realize how powerful this lasts. And his staff is like connected to the moon, like your intuition. Like, this is you actually saying, I'm trusting my intuition. I'm putting this boundary down here now as a act of devotion to myself for the future that I desire. I need to put this last. It's almost like you've been hesitating and like your word, like you've been speaking it to maybe people, friends, of like, this is what I need to do, and you haven't yet had the act of doing it. All right. Wow. I knew it. This was literally sitting there. The magic has been so potent. The Six of Pentacles was was right there. And I was like, okay, but I'm still going to shuffle, even though I knew that was the card that was next. That is what's coming up too. And I heard like, when you let the ego go, right? when you let the ego go. The Six of Pentacles as your strengths and like your hopes and fears, it's actually being met in reciprocity. That is the thing that you're desiring the most, but it is also the thing that like you've not had. You have not had people that actually are desiring to meet you where you're at. And so that is like the deeper hope, the deeper direction that your spirit is saying, like, if it is not an equal energy exchange, it is not for you, right? Because you've been doing this teeter-tottering for far too long of overgiving, but then like going way too far on the other end of the spectrum where like you're so closed up and nothing comes in, right? So this is literally a balance, right? And they're showing me a gate, right? Like this fence post is actually, it feels like this line you're putting in the sand is like, this is how you get to engage with me going forward. If you do not desire to engage with my energy like this moving forward, then you may stay outside of the gate. But if you wish to agree and actually move forward with me in this dance that I'm offering by putting this boundary here, beautiful. And so this really is like, it's time for you to put that last thing into place, okay? And then potential future, right? This is more long-term future. I'm going to be naming here. Ooh. Ace of Cups. Everything you desire, and then some, and then some. Okay, this Ace of Cups, like... It's making me... Okay, we're going to go that way. It's making me think of my favorite book, Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. And he really helps you understand the sort of like magic that love is, that you have within you, that is yours, innately, inherently yours. Yeah. Okay. Here. And it says, I pointed to this highlighted part. This is from The Magical Kitchen, which is my favorite chapter in this entire book. Please read this book. If you are like on this path, this book is going to be the wind in your sails. Okay, I promise you. Again, Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. Okay. We are so afraid to love because it isn't safe to love. The fear of rejection frightens us. We have to pretend to be what we are not. We have to try to be accepted by our partner when we don't accept ourselves. But the problem is not that our partner rejects it. The problem is that we reject ourselves because we believe we are not good enough, because that is what we believe. Self-rejection is the main problem. You're never going to be good enough for yourself when the idea of perfection is so completely wrong. It is a false concept. It's not even real because you believe it. Not being perfect, you reject yourself. And the level of self-rejection depends on how strong the adults were in breaking your integrity. That is this greater thing, that here. After domestication of the human, it is no longer about being good enough for anyone else. You are no longer good enough for yourself because the big judge is always there reminding you, you are not perfect. As I said before, you can never forgive yourself for not being what you wish to be. And that's the real problem. If you can change that, if you can take care of your half of the relationship, the other half is not your problem. Six of Pentacles. If you tell somebody that you love him and that person says, well, I don't love you, is that a reason for you to suffer? Just because somebody rejects you doesn't mean you have to reject yourself. That's what this Ace of Cups is on the other side of this, is you are getting so clear. This is my cup. Yeah, I'm going to keep reading this. If another person doesn't love you, somebody else will love you. There's always somebody else. And it's better to be with somebody who wants to be with you than to be with somebody who has to be with you. You don't have to focus on the most wonderful, or you have to focus on the most wonderful relationship you have, the relationship with yourself. It is not about being selfish. It's about self-love. These are not the same. You are selfish with yourself because there is no love there. You need to love yourself, and the love will grow more and more. Then, when you enter a relationship, you don't go in because you need to be loved. It becomes a choice. You can choose somebody because you want to, and you can see who they really are. And when you don't need their love, You don't have to lie to yourself. You are complete. When love is coming out of you, you are not searching for love because you aren't for when love is coming out of you, you are not searching for love because you are afraid to be alone. When you have all that love for yourself, you can be alone and there is no problem. You are happy to be alone and share also the fun. If I like you and we go out together, it's because we okay, we're good on that. So basically, essentially the point of reading all of that is because this Ace of Cups energy is you realizing like you are no longer entering relationship in this like contractual way where it's like I show up for you in this way and then X, Y, and Z, right? It is reciprocity in the way that you are meeting people who are completely whole and filled on their own. And when you guys come together, it's like, cool, you get to be all of you, I get to be all of me, and we can have fun. And that's it. And that is it. And that is the 10 of Pentacles that you are desiring because you've been doing this work of the 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, moving into the 4 of Wands, the Fool. Like you are doing this entire path of like self-reclamation and regeneration and healing so that you can actually consciously enter partnership with other people, friends, family, romantic, in a way that is truly self-sovereign and beautiful. Okay. I'm like, last bit of advice from Spirit here. Judgment and the 2 of Swords. Spirit is here saying, you already know that this last fence post has been coming in, this last choice, this decision, and this sort of illusion of having the blindfold or like feeling like you're at this choice point is ultimately like, this is just a greater part in the whole scheme of your life. And on the other side of it, it's going to be like, wow, I wish I made that decision sooner to like place this last fence post, to actually, do this, to step into my Queen of Swords energy, to actually share where I'm at with things. You're closing this cyclical cycle of self-judgment and perceived judgment from others, right? It's the stories that you're like, if I put this thing down, if I put this boundary up, if I let this thing go, what are others going to think of me? What's going to happen? Will they still love me? That's where this Ace of Cups comes in. Where like you're going to realize and have been realizing it all comes from within. Sweet friends, it all comes from within. You are so, I heard like it's safe to go. It's safe to let go. It's safe. And it's a deeper declaration of safety to yourself by you standing up for yourself and you actually finally closing this. It feels like a revolving door that you've had. People can just come in and come out whenever they want, right? In this way of like, you actually have been in that cycle of like, well, I need them to because I need to feel just in my own energy. And now it's like, actually, no, people can go in and out in this way that's taking from me anymore because you're operating from a place of fullness, but also like a place of self-respect. When people are only entering your space in this way of like, I need you to like need me. I need you to like rely on me in this way. You're like, I don't actually need you anymore. Can we be in relationship where we don't need each other? We want each other. And that person may go, and I'm just bringing in people because it, relationship seems a part of this and how you relate to the world at whole. It goes, oh, this person might go, actually, I don't want you because you don't need me. You're not playing into this pattern that I know. And this actually might break them out of their pattern too by you no longer engaging in the pattern. And Spirit really wants you to know, like, it's time. It's time. Okay. 9 of Cups at the bottom. It's time for you to have your like emotional fulfillment for you and also for the people in your future that are waiting to meet this version of you. Okay. I love you all so much. Thank you for hanging out, liking, subscribing, doing all those things, dropping a comment helps support the channel. However you desire to support me in my work, it's deeply appreciated, and I have so much love for you all. Deeper invitations down below, community spaces, my inner circle, readings, all of those things are linked down below if you feel that call to work deeper with me or be deeper in my energy. I love you guys.